The Super Shaw is one of the most intense drop towers on the market. This ride is co-produced by A.R.M and Larson. While these rides are never taller than 14 stories, they may have the most forceful plunge of any drop tower. In this video, I will explain why these rides are so terrifying. Throughout the 1990s, drop towers rose in popularity. Most versions were made by Intamin or S&S. These versions commonly made their way to larger chain parks. In the mid-2000s, A.R.M and Larson developed the Super Shot. This was a more budget-friendly drop tower, so it popped up at carnivals and smaller parks across the globe. Some of the most well-known installations include Atmosphere at Maurice Piers, Panic Plunge at Silverwood, Stratosphere at Knoebels, and Hair Raiser at Luna Park, Sydney. All four of these versions are the park model. I have seen both A.R.M and parks advertise the rise 140 feet or 43 meters in height, but per the engineering drawings, the rise officially 128 feet or 39 meters tall. The added height goes to the top piece and the underground foundations. There also are three smaller versions, ranging from 70 feet to 105 feet in height. All these are designed to be portable. This allows them to be moved from carnival to carnival. One unique installation was Future Flight at Super Bowl 51 in Houston, Texas, as this one also featured virtual reality headsets. These rides all hold 12 riders per cycle. There are two different gondola configurations. A few of them have a square gondola with 3 riders on each side, but the ride more commonly features a circular gondola. The latter allows parties to stick together and it minimizes empty seats. Atmosphere at Maurice Piers is one that uses a square gondola, and to ensure it runs at full capacity, they actually offer a single rider line. The wait time will vary by park, but usually these are at smaller parks, and in general, I can't recall having to wait more than a cycle or two for one of these. It helps that they're very easy attractions to check. Guests have just an over-the-shoulder restraint with an external seatbelt. Now I need to talk about the seat design because it adds a lot of thrills to the experience. For one, you are very exposed. There is barely any lateral bracing here. 2, the harness is ratcheting, so it has some give in between the locking positions. 3, there's this hump about halfway up the seat back that sort of forces you to lean forwards. I think this position makes the drop more extreme because it makes it more likely you'll be staring at the ground. Once dispatched, you are pulled atop the tower by a catch car at a snail's pace. The ascent is much slower than other drop towers. The large park model takes nearly 1 minute to reach the top. The smaller ones take a bit less time. Now the views are 100% dependent upon the park they're at. I want to highlight a few installations that really shine in this department. Hair Raiser at Luna Park, Sydney is the best view of all. You are looking out over the city, getting a fantastic view of both the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. X-Scream at Waldamere's atop a hill overlooking Lake Erie. You can see for miles. There are also a few of these built at seaside parks, so you get a great view of the beach and ocean. This includes Atmosphere at Maurice Piers, Drop Zone at Kemah Boardwalk, and the former drop tower at Jillian's Wonderland Pier. Panic Plunge at Silverwood offers stunning views of the nearby mountains. Then a few of these are built at parks with heavily wooded settings like Stratosphere at Knoebels and Brain Drain at Magic Springs. Most drop towers pause at the top before dropping you. Not these ones. You drop the instant you reach the top. The pause on most drop towers gives you more time to take in the view, and is intended to build anticipation. The Super Shots do not need this. The slow climb gives you every opportunity to see the sights. Then I would argue it's scarier not knowing when you're at the top. While you can look up on most drop towers to see how close you are to the top, this one has a flanged barrier above everyone's head to prevent this. The only way to tell is by looking at your watch, or riding this on a sunny day and using the ride's shadow to gauge how high the vehicle is. Now there is a slight tell at the top the moment before you're released. There's a slight hitch in the vehicle. But before you can process what happened, you will drop, and you drop like a rock. The plunge on Super Shots is absolutely gut-wrenching. It is fast and forceful. You will float the whole way down, and I always get a strong stomach drop sensation the entire way. On a lot of drop towers, I only get this feeling at the start of the drop. I don't know why these drop towers are so intense. My guess is it has something to do with the gondola being more compact and heavy, but that's just a guess. This is the main reason I prefer these to drop towers that are significantly taller. Both the park model and traveling ones are equally as forceful. However, the drop is noticeably briefer in the smaller ones. It is still a rush though. The other reason these rides are so scary is that they brake extremely close to the ground. It really feels like you won't stop in time, but sure enough, the magnetic brakes always slow you down in time. The one at Knoebels is extra scary because that one seems to brake even closer to the ground than the others. A lot of them hit the brakes and then lower to the ground extremely slowly. Just look at the super shot at this carnival. Compare that to the one on Knoebels. On this one, after you hit the brakes, you seem to glide to the bottom faster. Not sure if they requested a modification to boost capacity, but it does allow them to unload slightly faster than the other ones out there. Along with these rides being a joy to experience, it's a guilty pleasure of mine watching the reactions of others. The utter look of shock and horror on the faces of most riders is comical. So, what would I rate A.R.M. Larson drop towers? I would give the park model for these drop towers a perfect 10 out of 10. These rides are exceptional. They build incredible suspense in the ascent. Then the descent is exhilarating. The power of these rides is matched by no other drop tower. They always deliver a gut punch and sweet airtime. The consistency ride to ride is impressive as well. These are almost always one of the best rides in their respective parks. I would probably give the smaller version a 9 out of 10 though due to the shorter ride experience, but again, they are still fantastic and better than most drop towers. Which installations are my favorites? A lot of that comes down to the views they provide. The more scenic, the better. So it should be no surprise my favorite super shot is Hair Razor at Luna Park, Sydney. Getting the view of Sydney Harbour is tough to beat. It's one of the best views of any ride. This ride offers better sightlines than some of the observation towers from within the city. I also like the ones that offer views of the water. Of special note is atmosphere at Morey's Piers. Not only are you overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, but that is the only one to my knowledge that offers onboard audio. This helps build anticipation on the ascent. There are a few different audio spiels available, so there's re-ride value as well. Now the audio will slightly tip you off when the drop occurs, but it's ultimately a net positive. So those are my thoughts on the Super Shot Drop Tower from A.R.M. and Larson. What are your thoughts on this ride, or any of the installations across the globe? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.